let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the House of Commons. I am LD Demola, and to my right,
I call no House of Commons.
And you'll see House of Commons.
Pascal Atuma, House of Commons.
yes sir.
Swagger.
Swag.
Ah, you know about that. Swag Lords. Today's topic: baby daddies versus child support. Baby daddies versus child support.
Okay.
This is a very interesting,
What did you say?
important
Baby
topic.
daddies versus child support.
Child support. Yes. So the system that we live in America, baby daddies, we hear a lot about them in certain communities. We hear a lot about baby daddies and the fights that they have with child support. So we're gonna basically talk about our perspectives on it. You know, what we've seen, what we know, and the negatives and how it's affecting the society we live in. I will start with you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I do have a baby, definitely. So I guess I know one or two things about child support and issues like that. Well, everything has to do with the kind of relationship you have with your spouse, your significant other. Okay. In my case, I don't consider child support. Whatever money that I'm spending on my daughter, I see it as I'm spending money on my daughter. You know what I mean? Like, daycare, clothes, whatever, blah 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 blah. I consider it as an expense of love for my little one.
Good. Okay.
So now, what's it? So we're asking questions, or we're gonna?
It doesn't matter. Take it
Okay, so
let's just go with it.
So I guess this is the thing. A lot of people have an issue with the fact that, first of all, the whole baby daddy, baby mama thing. I have an issue with that because you're supposed to be co-parenting. Even if you're not with the person, unless y'all in a bad situation,
Right.
y'all supposed to be co-parenting. But anyways, my issue is the money that's being spent on a child. I know you want the best for your child.
Right.
So if you have it, by all means,
Right.
have it. But if the money that I'm giving you is being used for Michael Kors instead of feeding my child in Pampers or whatever, or school fees or whatever that child needs, I have a problem. A lot of women,
True.
like, oh well, this is kind of like, well, it's not about you.
Right.
It's about the child. Now I don't want you to be on the street, but that's not really my problem. My problem is making sure that child is okay.
Right. Right.
That's the thing. I don't have any kids, so I don't really understand. I don't know that much about this, but from what on the outside looking in, the child's interest is the most important thing in this kind of situation. So
True.
I feel like the problem is a lot of men. So for the women that are watching, a lot of men feel that a lot of women. So I don't want to use the term baby mama, but a lot of baby mamas. They take advantage of the fact that somebody has the cash to give to you and take care of the child. Now, you want the child to be taken care of, and you want the child to have the lifestyle, like Chris Brown's having an issue with his baby mama back and forth in and out of court because $15,000 a month isn't enough in the state of Texas to whatever. I don't know the details of the case, but there's a problem with, at a time, there was a problem with the amount. Why is that not enough to help cater to the child?
Correct.
So
why is that not selfish?
Can I go in?
And why is it not selfish? That's where I'm getting it
Okay,
to.
I go in that.
Yeah, please.
Number one, I have a daughter, a very beautiful daughter. My daughter is my heart. You all already know that.
Right.
Let's make this personal.
Yeah,
Let me take it
please.
personal. When my daughter was born, I met the family of the girl, right? I told them, I said, if you guys want child support, I will pay child support, but for your own advantage and for the advantage of my daughter. I don't think child support will be enough to take care of my daughter.
Wow.
Because I don't want a situation whereby my daughter will grow up tomorrow and you will feel as if not for the court, daddy wouldn't have been there for
Thank
me.
you very much.
Thank
you very much.
You moved a little fast, but that's what I wanted to
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much for
I
that.
don't ever want my daughter to go to school and the question will come out and say, daddy pays child support.
Right, right.
Because people don't understand something. The confidence that you instill in a young kid when they're young is what they're going to grow up with.
Right.
Now, I want my daughter to grow up knowing that daddy loved me from day one.
Right.
So personal, people that know me can do the research. Since we're in House of Commons, the reason why we're House of Commons, we put everything.
It's our life. Our life is on the line.
When my daughter was born, the mom didn't have a car. I didn't want my own daughter, Pascal Atuman's daughter, to ride in a bus.
There you go.
Or to ride on a train. Because God blessed me enough that anything that come out of me should live the way I'm living.
Wow. Nice.
So I bought a car for the mom.
Indeed.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I did what I'm supposed
To do. Right.
And I told the family, if you people let me stay in my daughter's life, you will never worry about anything that she needs, even if it's drinking water. The only thing she needs from you people is love. That's all. Because I look at it, which judge in this world will make me spend more for my daughter than when my daughter said, "Hi daddy, good morning," or "I love you." "Hey daddy, I need this." My daughter's voice saying, "Daddy, I love you." Okay, I'll give you an example. I did a movie in New York. I finished, I went to Virginia to see my daughter. I pick up my daughter, I go to the hotel, right? We're sleeping in the hotel, just me and my daughter. Alone, we're in the hotel. The next morning, I woke up earlier. I'm working on my laptop. My daughter is still sleeping. So she wakes up and I look and she's awake. The first thing she says is, "Daddy, I love you." Man,
I just made your day.
Man, you
right
can't
there.
beat that.
True.
You see what I'm saying? You can't beat that. There's no judge, there's no police, there's no prison, there's no law, right? That can be more powerful than me remembering every day the day I would die. When she woke up that morning, it's just two of us in that hotel room.
That story is so
I want to.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I feel you, though, I feel you.
I see what you're saying.
So I don't think child support is enough. And there's a mistake a lot of people are making out there. You want to go to court, right, to get money. I'll give you an example of the Chris Brown issue. You said that he was giving up $15,000 and they said
And initially, they said he was paying $15,000 a month. And she lives in Texas.
Okay, and they said it wasn't enough.
Oh my
But
goodness.
do you know that if that girl let Chris Brown come close to his daughter and fall in love with his daughter, Chris Brown will be spending $30,000 without knowing he already spent it.
That is why this episode is important.
But do you understand what I'm saying? If they let Chris Brown come close to his daughter, where I give you an example, myself, there's nowhere in the world I cannot see my daughter, or either on Skype or on FaceTime, or no way in the world it's not going to happen. If they let Chris Brown fall in love with his daughter, there's nothing stronger. No child support court is stronger than the love of Chris with his daughter. That will get Chris will be spending $50,000.
That's
what he's doing now too.
That's why this episode is important, because you mentioned something that we all shook your hand with. Number one, we come from Africa, right? We were raised with Nigerian morals, African morals.
Yeah.
The wise family members were the ones that we reported to when there were issues.
Yeah.
Right? And they judged us based on who was wrong morally and who went against the values of our norms, right? But there's no courtroom, there's no judge, there is no one telling you, you make this amount of money, this is how much you have to pay to show that you love this child, or whatever the case may be. But the reason why this is important, based on what you just said, about if you let the man get close to his child, he will actually spend more, he will actually be more motivated to do more for his child, right? There's a misconception.
You wouldn't even have to tell him.
Yeah, let me say two things. Number one, as usual, the United States of America, for some reason, has made the man such a villain.
Oh my God.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't know if it's an agenda, but America has made the man such a villain to the point where...
No.
Okay.
Let me finish two things. One, they've made the man a villain because I remember growing up, one of the main reasons why I'm scared to have a child with someone in the United States of America, I'm not going to lie to you, it's a fact. I'm an African-American man. Walking into the courtroom, whether I'm the most honest man of all time, I'm already at fault immediately walking into the courtroom. That is one thing. I remember watching Maury, Jenny Jones, all these shows, and getting scared that this is how Americans operate with children. You have social service workers asking them questions about your personal life and things like that, where it takes away the love to the point that I see people actually resenting their own children
Can I
because of the interference.
before y'all hop in?
Okay.
My issue is, just to add on, is it's never really a case by case basis at all.
Yes.
Right.
It's never a case by case. It's always
The man is wrong.
the man is wrong.
True,
Then we have to prove that you are capable of
Exactly.
taking care of the
That-
child.
yeah, that-
Afterwards.
True, you're absolutely right.
And then the race thing is also another part of it.
course.
That this you can't run from that, especially in the United States of America.
That is so
but
true.
y'all go ahead.
That is so true. This topic is going to hit us quickly. So I'm going to say like 3 things now. Sorry guys, I'm going to
No, go ahead.
what you said.
Nah, you gotta, yeah.
What you said something about Chris Brown, right?
Mhm.
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
15,000.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, if this was done on a case by case basis, in all honesty, 15,000 is a little less for Chris Brown to pay.
You have no problem paying it, but
True,
you wanted more.
True, but okay.
Much more.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Let's finish.
It shouldn't really be about what the court wants Chris Brown to pay.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, Chris Brown flies private planes,
Yeah.
private jets, and pays. He just chartered a plane. He flew $75,000. So I'm sure the court, they're looking at this system. If this man can fly a chartered plane from place and $5,000, why can't he pay more for a child for his child? So in Chris Brown's case, it's totally
Can I ask you a
15,000.
question?
No, you will. But I have to. We'll come there. The part about that case that is not fair to the guys is that they generalize. Most women are taking advantage of the fact that they have this child, and like you said, America is making the guy a villain.
Yeah.
Because
100 times,
in all honesty, me being from Africa, and I know all of us being from Africa, I don't see any of you having a baby with any female and not want to be a part of
Yeah.
that.
They cost you.
That's just
They cost
how
you.
you are raised.
Are you in mind?
But on the other hand, most African American men, you guys have been here for a while. They are the ones that, excuse my French, fucked it up for every other.
Okay, now let me.
I want to jump on that.
Yeah, let me-
I want to jump on that.
Hey!
I want to jump. That's why this is
The
important.
last thing I will say, and I'm going to yield, you know, whoever wants to come.
You don't say you don't.
No, I know.
Just
I know.
Pandora.
I had a friend. This girl has never flown first class before. All of a sudden, she has a baby for a guy, a celebrity. Now this girl flies first class everywhere she goes because she goes with this child. Does that make you right? Because you have a child for this guy, so you're not flying first class everywhere. Well, anyway, I know we have a lot to talk about.
You
so-
open that can.
I gotta get on that though. You ain't so slide off like that, man. I'm gonna get you.
I was gonna come in when you said something about America made the man a villain, and I was gonna say something before he now opened the can.
Right.
See, the reason why the child support system is in place, I think the reason why it's in place in the first place is because there's a lot of people out there that want to have babies and they run away from their babies.
Right. What are responsibilities?
Some people are cold. Then some people you can't say they are cold. It depends on how they were brought up.
Yeah.
Some of them were
Exactly.
brought up in the same system of daddy not being there.
They don't know how to parent,
So
'cause
they
they never had
don't,
a
they don't
parent.
know that a dad is supposed to be there for the child.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you don't know that a dad is supposed to be there for the child,
Slap child
you know, so
support. Yes,
you
that's
might think it's normal to have a baby and run away. Do you,
Okay,
That's why you slap the child
I'm
support
coming, right? So
finish, yeah.
there are some people out there that if not for the child support system, they will never
True.
ever
They're not going to be responsible.
Yeah.
True.
Responsible.
I know
Can I
that.
ask you
I
a
know
question?
that.
Hold on your question. So from what Amy said, let it be on case by case. Then-
Yes, that's what it should be.
Then if people if they can dictate a way to make a case by case basis so that everybody is not generally punished, then it will be different. But what I'm saying, and I know for sure, child support is not enough to take care of a baby. Number one. Number two, what I'm
Is
gonna
the
say again
thing
that
about-
might be contradictory is this. I wanna ask you Ike, a question.
Yeah.
You said that Chris Brown was given $15,000 to a girl that lived in Texas for a child, and the girl said it's not enough. What is a child spending? A young child that's not the
$15,000.
No.
Hold on. I'm going to ask you a question. Like, let me use the Bush family for example. The Bush family we all know have been in money for a long time.
They don't even use 15,000
Hold on. What is a child from the Bush family doing with $15,000 a month?
Well, I think
You
you
understand what I'm-
kind of
you understand what I'm
misunderstood
talking
what I
about?
said.
No, I did not.
I know what he said. He basically said, based on how much he makes,
Based
he will
on how
actually
much
charge
Chris
more.
Brown makes.
To him,
He
it's
should
not
be charged more regardless of where the girl lives.
Okay,
Because of Chris Brown's
His earnings.
lifestyle.
Lifestyle.
He's
Okay,
a
but
multi-millionaire.
True, the
but
fact
if
is,
you let Chris Brown come close to his daughter or
Exactly.
his son will be part of that
But
line.
Chief, now let's ask you this.
I wanted to please. I just want to go back.
Let me just close out what
Okay,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Please, I'm gonna forget it. I don't want to forget it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I don't want to forget. Please don't forget what you were saying. The thing that you're saying, he basically was finishing it off about people who have messed it up in the past. Whether it be whoever. I wouldn't even try to say African Americans, but we can go there. This is the problem that I'm seeing. Number one, you at least have both of you have the know-how, the smarts, to know that it's not really about the money. It's about what you're doing for the child.
Right.
A lot of people, like you said, didn't have parents. They don't know how to parent. So they don't even understand what you're talking about when it comes to being in their lives and all that stuff. Then some people don't have the representation. If when Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose had their own whole situation, if he didn't have whatever representation or the capital, who knows what happened to that child? So you have a lot of African American men. I'm just going to use an example because that's what we see that don't have none of that. A lot of us don't have none of that. Then on top of that, you have a lot of people who not victimize, but they attack black men openly when black men aren't even given a chance to be parents, and then you make them look bad. That's why I always used to get upset. Why are we bashing black men?
Let me add on to what you're saying.
On social media and all these other
Let
things.
me add on to what you're saying. Let me add on to
It's already destroyed.
Let me add on to what you're saying. Let me add on to what you're saying. And this is why I think this is one of the most important conversations we've had, because, you mentioned something, right? Number one, the black man is basically who is used to market everything negative.
Exactly.
So when you look at the statistics of social services,
You love statistics.
you will be surprised that when they talk about EBT and food stamps and all that stuff, the black person's face is what is used as who's receiving this.
Yeah.
But it will shock you.
Oh, the white folks.
Dude, I don't even want to say any color or whatever the case
No,
may be.
it's not
Hey,
based on population alone.
It's not hidden.
Based on population alone.
It's not hidden.
I'll put it to you this way.
I'll say for
And
you.
I learned this when I was working in social services. Do you know that a certain race can walk
Caucasians.
into a social service office and automatically get more assistance,
I'll say
financial,
for you. Caucasians.
than a black person? Did you know that? So just based on the amounts that are receiving, we're not receiving that much. But just to go back to what you said,
Yeah.
parents who are leaving their children
Yeah.
who were left. I read something about Steve Jobs in Steve Jobs' books. He was adopted. Someone said those who were left will leave. It's a vicious cycle.
Exactly.
Right? And one reason why it's important for four men to have this discussion is because of this. We've mentioned certain people. We mentioned Chris Brown and Wiz Khalifa. The sad reality of it is the quality of woman you have a child with is extremely important.
Oh
to how
my
your child is
gosh.
born.
Okay. On that note.
Let me add
They need to jump in on that one. They need to jump in there. I know they want to jump in.
Jump in.
I know they want to jump in.
Go ahead.
Jump in. Wow, that is the most important thing, the quality of person you have a child. You. I remember I've had this conversation with both of you. I've told you guys, you guys, stop wasting time, have a baby. You remember this conversation? I'll tell you. Well, I don't. Look, that's a totally different topic. You don't have to be married to have a baby.
But it's the right way to do it.
Quality. You can marry and not have a quality wife. You still have problems.
Yeah, but it's the right way to do it.
Is who says the right way? Is
our
what
culture.
they say.
Our culture says
What
it's
they
the right
say. You might still have problems.
No,
Look,
but
let me just finish. Look, let me tell you something.
One fight. Get in there.
Remember Usher. Usher Tamika. You know he ended up winning the custody case because of the quality of the girl. The girl was just out there to get money from Usher because they had a baby. But thank God some judge saw it right to give Usher custody for the baby. So me, in my case, look, I got married. Okay, things didn't go as planned. Okay, but I'm very blessed to have a very good understanding with the lady I had a baby with.
Now, can I ask you a question?
Yes, ask
And
me.
it's about. I know the lady is not an American.
Right.
Do you think those morals from where she comes from plays a role?
I think it did play a role because her cultures are kind of similar to my culture.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Their culture are kind of similar.
Can
They're
I-
so
can I
family
come in?
oriented.
And the sad reality about America is
Yeah,
that the
Aldi,
culture
Aldi,
is
Aldi.
child support.
Adi, can I come in?
Yes.
Most of the times, it's not the girl that had the baby for you that's the problem. It's her friends and people around her.
That's another thing. Wow.
Her friends and people around her will push her and push her. How much is this guy giving you? How much is this dude?
Wow.
Oh, this guy, that guy, he's making this go to child, go to court, go to court, go to court.
Yeah.
And most of the times,
Girl, he Chris Brand. He can afford to pay you exactly.
and then most of the time they push these girls to court, and then you go to court and you get less. I don't know if I'm making this. I give you an example. Me personally, personally, if the mother of my daughter take me to court, she will get less. I don't know if I'm making sense. You know why? Because no court can make me do what I'm doing for my daughter out of love. More than you know what I'm doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the only thing the court can make is get me upset.
Papers.
And once I get upset, then it will throw a boundary between my love and my daughter.
Exactly.
And then what I will be looking at my daughter now is not a punishment.
Exactly.
It's not a because guess
You
what?
now look at that as numbers.
As number. No matter how much you love the person, now it feels like someone is using the system to force me to love my own blood.
Yes.
That it wouldn't feel like real
And
love.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I don't know if I'm.
I know what you're saying.
It wouldn't for me. I don't know if because of my background. It wouldn't feel like real love anymore.
No, the fact is, a lot of people don't like to be told what to do, when to do it.
Yeah.
It's the fact.
Especially if they are willing to do
Exactly.
it.
It's not even like telling you what to do. It is what you already know you're supposed to do.
Wow.
And keep in mind, it's not
I
just
don't know if
about,
I'm making sense.
keep in mind, it's not even just about the money either. Now it is, there are social workers interfering in your life.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
phone calls, random, there's so many people in your life now that it's not even your own life.
A friend of mine had a situation whereby the court asked him to pay a certain amount of money, but he cannot see his kid. Only he has to go to some kind of visitation
Mediator or something.
So
To see-
for him to see his kid, right? They have to bring the kid to him, and he has 2 or 3 hours to see the
That's
kid
sad.
under.
Truthfully, what is
Hold on, let me ask you to see the kid under supervision, right?
Shy.
Whereas I can go pick up my daughter now, right, and take my daughter to an African restaurant, and we sit in that African restaurant for 2-3 hours, and now feed her fufu, right? And my daughter is eating her fufu when we're playing around. You see what I'm saying? Nobody is supervising. That's what I'm supposed to do as a father.
Now let me ask this question.
You know what I'm saying? But if the court come in, like, right? If the court come in, I don't know how, personally, I don't know how I'll feel.
Let me ask this question.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know
I'm
how.
gonna say one thing and I'm gonna ask the question. I think it's really important that men are talking about this because
Yes.
it's
Black
really important.
men.
Black men talking about this because going back to what I said, you mentioned something important. The reason why it was put into place is because people skipped out on what they were supposed to be doing
Yeah,
responsibly.
people don't
Absolutely
have
understand.
responsibility, yes.
It is now at a point where it is almost marketed as the thing to do. As soon as I don't need this broke blah blah blah, you walk and you know that the courts will handle that and will take care of itself.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned
It's almost
men are vilified in America for everything.
Yeah.
Now, man is a villain, period. Let's not even argue it. As you mentioned, it is trying to prove our way out of being a villain.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question. How deep do you think this is affecting the black community?
Can I answer that question?
Please.
Let me tell you one thing. Before you solve a problem, you have to trace the roots. Majority, I don't know the numbers, it's not statistics. Majority of the girls that got pregnant for guys, got pregnant for the guys for the wrong reasons. Some think they're dating a guy, you can bash me if you want to, that's fine. Some think if I get pregnant for this guy, he will marry me. Some gold diggers, there are some women out there who are really pure gold diggers, who like say, okay, they see this one, okay, this one is a basketball player, an NFL player, if I only can get close to him, I want to get pregnant. Because meanwhile, you got to know that we live in a modern world. If a girl doesn't want to get pregnant, she will not get pregnant. Pure ED.
That's true now.
If you want to get a girl pregnant and she says she's not getting pregnant for you, my brother, no matter what you do, that chick is not going to get pregnant. Because we have what we call contraceptives and they're out there. Am I making sense?
She may terminate it if she feel like you ain't.
That's abortion. That's abortion. It doesn't have to. It doesn't even have to get up to that point.
Okay.
So a woman, it's only 1% of women in this world that can get pregnant by mistake.
True.
With the modern world that we live, this world of Twitter and Facebook and Google or Google, whatever they call it.
Can I just help you and you continue? Do you know if after sex, if you, for females, if you wash your private part with lemon,
Jesus
if you
Christ.
with lemon, it can prevent you.
Will you wash your own thing with lemon?
No.
Will you wash your own thing?
I don't need because I can't get
You
pregnant.
go put lemon on your thing.
I'm just kidding.
You want to get a pepper you.
No, I'm telling you practical things that is real that I've people that I have been with that want to do.
Oh my God.
This,
Okay.
and it's
That's
even
not straight
better.
from the point though.
No, we're gonna come back, but this I'm just dropping nuggets of wisdom for young ones that don't even have enough money to go back.
To go buy lemon.
Yeah, lemon is a natural way.
Life gives you a lemon.
Let me put it.
There you go. Okay, continue.
Because how it affects the black society. Right?
Yeah.
So in a case where a guy feels like he was set up, why some guys might, say I'm not going to be a part of this. Some guys sometimes feel that they are being set up, and so for the girls out there, it doesn't work. If a guy doesn't want to marry you, even if you have 5 kids, that guy is not going to marry you.
It actually makes it worse.
It's only going to make the guy start hating you. But so the deal is this. When that case happens, then you come and see enmity growing in the black community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now, this family will now turn against this family because every day, when the girl is going to court, she's coming with her relatives. When the guy is going to court, the guy is coming with her relatives. So these two families that were supposed to actually come together to train a child, they become enemies. And this enmity will go from them to their friends, and then the black community will keep.
And in the black community, the lion of the household, the man is usually the one that's pushed out of the picture.
Yes. You see what I'm saying?
This is the thing. My issue is, as a community, as an African American black community, I'm seeing, and the reason I'm going to start off with this because I'm going to bring it back to why it's affecting us in a specific way. The bashing of African American men publicly just makes zero sense. Why I'm saying this is because a lot of times that is
Bashing by who?
by
almost everybody.
almost everybody. But I'm gonna be specific because it's gonna be controversial. I don't see, not all. Let me remove all. I said not all, but there's a good amount of black women that I've seen publicly that have bashed black men, and I don't see the point in it when it's already destroyed. The black family is barely hanging on by a thread if there's anything left in it in this country. Now, to bring it back to what we're talking about the structure of this society. If you can't take care of your kids, there's no child support is not like an option. So when you have a situation where you have a father who didn't have a father, and this vicious cycle is growing. There's no father. They don't even know what it means, and then the name dad for a lot of these people doesn't even have a good ring to it. So you have this going on in a society where there's no option, but you have to do this child support thing, or you're going to jail. There's nothing like I'm not going to go to jail.
No, chill now. You just go now. You don't go. Maybe I can go. But okay. I'm glad we're talking about this topic. I'm so glad because I think it's been long overdue that we even talk about stuff like this. Look, definitely. You answered the question about where the root of the problem, where it started, and blah 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 blah. That was awesome, ultimate, very very good. Amy, you just mentioned something. Now I'm forgetting my train of thought.
Okay, can I go?
Okay, go.
Okay, let me say one thing, right?
Say one thing.
Child support. What does this child support court preach? The child support court never preaches love. The love of a dad to the child.
It's money.
the child support court never preaches togetherness of the child.
It actually preaches separation.
Yeah.
The only thing that the child support court actually does and is only doing is to have to get money from the guy to the woman's
It's
account,
just money.
so that they will say, okay, now he's taking care of his child. Money is not enough to take care of a child.
We're not the only ones that do child support.
no.
Black folks ain't the only ones that
we're
are
not.
child
No,
support.
but can I finish?
Yes.
Right? Money is not enough to take care of a child. A child needs the father as much as the child needs the mom.
Can I say
Amen.
something? Can I add something to this?
Can you say one more time?
Can I add something to
I
this?
said a child needs the father as much as the child needs the mom.
You know the funny thing?
Now, I haven't remembered what I was going to say, but let me just say this real quick. But we're talking about child support and court and blah, 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 blah. But like we just said, if a guy is playing his role, doing what he's supposed to do, they won't even get to the court part.
I don't believe
Okay,
that.
but you see, but some people.
I don't believe that.
Oh, can I come in
Yeah,
with
that's
what
not
I
true.
said? Some of the men are not even being given the chance.
Let me say this. Let me
to
say
play
this.
that role, because
You said
initially
something
the
important.
goal was not to have a father. The goal was to have a support system,
Yeah.
which they think you will get from having a child with that person.
Let me do this. Let me do this.
That's the best way.
Let me say this. You mentioned something important, right? You said marriage is the right way to go. And the older I get, the more I see the importance of a solid union that promises togetherness forever, which is marriage, right? I've never been one for the structure of marriage as told by the courtrooms in America, for the same exact reason why I don't think child support works here.
Yeah.
But the reason what you said is important is, you said some of the men are not given a chance. Chief, we live in America. The truth of the matter is there's a ceiling for black guys in this country.
Yeah.
You can only get so high.
Yeah.
You can educate yourself as much as you want. You will get to a certain point, but there's a ceiling.
Yeah.
And you said something about it's not usually the girl that is saying what she should go get. It's the people around her.
Yeah.
Before we even get to child support, women who are in unions with black men have to listen to the outside of his worth, his quality. What does he do? What kind of car does he drive? What house does he live?
Yeah.
Oh, he gonna take it to Palmdale? Blah, 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 blah. They mention all these things that already put pressure on you being yourself. I am not saying women are wrong, but in this case where we're defending the guy, these are a lot of things that take place that make the man seem useless. You also said something extremely important. You said, it's not the money the child needs, it's the father.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll speak for myself.
Yeah.
I said this on another episode before. I realized when I got a lot older and all I had to do was have a conversation with my dad, I knew the importance of my father was never money. The things I saw and read and was told by the outside was what made it quality. Absolutely not. Because for my dad to basically give me reassurance that, you're fine. That's all that is needed. If the foundation of the structure of relationships and creating a kid is based on that, and both parties honestly, truthfully agree,
Understand.
understand that it is till death do us part, right? It is not in sickness and health, money or broke. The foundation, as long as you try
This is the father. This is the mom.
period.
Definitely.
You won't be seeing these things.
I think I remembered. Yeah,
Okay.
you made a good valid point. I remember what I wanted to talk about. We're talking about the root cause of this problem.
Right.
Where it started. It's all about the control. Who's trying to control the society? Which certain race we don't want to mention. There's this book by Dr. Joel Wallach. It's called Black Gene Lies. You know what in that book Black Gene Lies? They mention all the major diseases: diabetes, high blood pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension, blah 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 blah. All the diseases, cancer. What are the black diseases? The tumor, the major ones, high cholesterol, blah blah blah.
Hypertension.
That is related to the black gene. That's why we are more prone to be sick and have all these diseases. Did you know that? That's what the man has
This is
sold
in
to
the book.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in Africa, we're drinking dirty water,
That's
we're
what
still strong.
medical system has, the lies they've told us. They said it's because of the genes that we've been handed bad gene because we are African Americans. We have bad gene. It's called Black Gene Lies. I mean, you guys can Google this book by Dr.
And I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is what this child support and this control system and this you said something about the black man is vilified, out of every other race.
The forefront,
That
everything
is
wrong.
where everything starts. Look, it's all about control. It's about economic power.
Yeah.
They're trying to break down
The black family.
And how do you break down a family?
Yeah.
Or how do you break down a community?
Yeah, community.
You go through the family. Once you break down the family structure,
Get
everything
specific.
goes-
Get specific.
Yes.
Get specific.
Okay.
You don't just break down the family through the family structure.
Yeah. You remember?
Everyone wants to eliminate the importance of the father.
And out the
They
head of
want to.
household.
I don't know why.
Okay. And I'm gonna land, and I know you're boiling to talk. Another we've talked about. Look, understanding love and blah 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 is great. I keep saying this. You don't have to be married to be happy to have a child. To have
Absolutely,
a happy
I
child.
agree with that.
Not.
It's the right way
Because
to go.
it's the right way to go.
But it's
I
not-
encourage
yeah,
it, I
exactly.
support it. But it's not 100% foolproof.
Of course.
Because I can show you a lot of married people that are not happy, that their children are suffering.
Huh.
There are a lot of people are together because they want to raise their child to a certain age. Then they'll I mean, it's already they've
The marriage is already ended.
It's ended. They sleep in separate rooms, but they're just there because of the
You're not
child. And they want
covenanters.
the wedding to be 18.
Should we conclude?
So let's conclude.
Okay.
But you want to say something? Because
What I want to say is this, like the child support situation. Most of these girls around the mom of that child that will push the mom to court with this guy. When they get to court and the case gets serious, they'll run away and the mom will be standing alone.
Because that was the foundation of it anyway.
Am I making sense?
Of course.
They'll push her to go to court, and then the man will come to court and the fight will start. When the battle starts, these people that were pushing her, they will run away. And then they will leave this woman alone now to be in court fighting for, and the money that would have been spent on that child will be paid to the lawyer.
And to connect it. Oof.
But do you understand?
And I'm not going to tell you,
breakdown of
and I'm not going to,
families right
I'm not going to go specific about what the lawyer is.
I knew you were gonna.
What the judge is. The judge is not blind.
99% of the time, the
Yeah.
lawyer is a different race.
Okay.
Where is that money going? Where's the economic
and
power?
this case will
Right
drag
there.
in court and drag in court, and this money that would have been put in
So raising the child is
even to
spent
pay
on
into
to
educational
another-
fund
Wow.
that would have been used to pay for.
Just to go back to
Can I
something you
finish?
said. Oh, sorry.
Even the money that would have been used to pay for the paying for educational fund for the kid, save for her, and it will be wasted on paying lawyers. At the end of the day, this woman will still get less, or even get maybe what she's trying to get, but at what price? And at that time, then the love of the dad, the bond between the dad and the daughter has been broken.
Wow.
Some people may recover it. Some people may never recover it again. You know, in their sense, you have a child growing up, and then you have people say, oh, I'm a single mom. I'm a single mom.
Like it's a goal.
That's it. It's a thing of pride. You don't have to be married to not be a single mom. You can not be. You might not be married to a man, but you don't have to be a single mom. If the father of that
Is playing the same fatherly role.
Like me personally, I will not eat and let my daughter starve. She's not gonna have.
That's a responsible man.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I don't
Now,
disagree with that.
If I don't have money, I will tell you I don't have it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But guess what though?
If I'm poor, right? Shouldn't my daughter live as poor too?
It just is what it is.
That's
And it goes back to
We're raised that way.
Yeah, if I'm rich,
Look.
shouldn't my daughter live
Exactly.
rich? You understand what I'm saying? So the problem I'm having is where a situation whereby you just go to
It's
court
assuming that
and destroy
you have right.
what is. Do you know that the love is more important than the money?
But
Yeah,
Chief,
yeah.
but Chief, it is going to connect back to everything
So
you
what
said.
you just
just
said
to
about-
conclude.
Can we conclude?
And you mentioned something about there's now a comfort level to make the black guy just seem like crap.
Oh yeah.
And people are now so comfortable doing it, it's now the norm.
Yeah.
Just like it is the norm to immediately assume, right? Let's just go to court, right? Because it's all based on his worth.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, a guy who cannot even get a job, who you're taking to court, you're just killing the man even worse. But we'll go into those, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
In my conclusion, I'm going to conclude. The first thing I'm going to say is, I really, yeah, just right now. I want to say, I want to talk to the guys first. I mentioned something about the quality of women that you have children with.
Wow, quality.
it is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to know your value, your worth, and to make sure that you are having a child with someone that will understand you as a human being, life's ups and downs, and also understand that it is love that is more important than money. It is your responsibility as a man to make good decisions. You do not owe any woman a child. That is one thing that we have not talked about. There are a lot of women who want a child. I actually know someone who had a child, a white lady who had a child with a black guy because she wanted mixed kids.
Wow.
That was the only reason. And the guy's going through hell right now. But nonetheless, men, it is your responsibility to gauge your life, consult your family, make right decisions. Ladies, it is very common these days for us to brag about the single mom thing. If you're a really good single mom, for those single moms who are out there who are in situations where the man is a deadbeat, I commend you for being such great mothers. It is not a goal though, right? The goal is not to have a kid and then say, I'm a single mom. It is not an accomplishment. It is a fault in the system. It is a flaw. It is something that did not work. And it's not something that should be marketed as this is the way to go. Also, we vilify men a lot, and I will say this, ladies, if you are not able to gauge the kind of man that you're having a child with, to know that he's a deadbeat before you have the child, you should also gauge yourself.
Use lemon.
Fact. No, I'm saying gauge yourself. If you see a man who does not have ambition, who is playing Madden all day, and you choose to have a child with him, you should also question your own being. And I don't think there should be a complaint if birds of the same feather flock together. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, like I said, they need to use lemon, and that will.
Chief. Oh my God.
Okay, let him go.
Okay. My concern, I'm gonna talk to the ladies, talk to the guys, and talk to society in general. First, to the ladies, we'll talk about, it's all about quality, okay? Definitely, a child is not a paycheck. Anybody that's having a child for the sake of being able to fly, first class, or get Louis Vuitton purses, get Coach bags, get, the best, of clothes and blah, blah. That's totally wrong. That's totally wrong out there for you to have that kind of agenda. Now, I know a guy, he's only 46 and he's a granddad. He's a grandfather.
Congrats.
He's a grandfather. He has daughters, children that have children, and he's a deadbeat grandfather. He's not just a deadbeat dad with deadbeat grandfather. That's totally effed up. You knew definitely you're not responsible. You cannot even, Now he's in trouble. He's on the run because in a couple states, he's owing child support. In a couple states, he's owing child support. That's totally messed up. Now you sold yourself to the system that was designed to keep a certain race down, and you fell into that. That's totally a bad example. Also, in my conclusion, I want to say that the African American community, our race, the black race, has been vilified for too long. We've been told a lot of lies. Black genes, that we are more prone to all kinds of sickness, diabetes, high blood pressure, cancer, yada 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 yada. It's a total lie. It's a total lie. We need to definitely educate ourselves and re-educate ourselves, because nothing is tied to the genes when it comes to sickness. It's all about nutrition, what kind of food we eat. If you watch Hispanics, they grow to be a certain way because of what they eat. If you watch African Americans or Africans, we're a certain way because of what we eat. Anyways, that's something totally different and deep. So, to society in general, I want to say that definitely we should. Let me just yield. Use a lemon to that. Use a lemon.
Use a lemon. Next time you're going to forget, use a lemon.
No, I didn't forget, but let me chill. Okay, go on.
I'm sorry. I had an issue with the glorification of the single mother, and I applaud, and I think it's incredible to raise a family on your own as a single mother, but that glorification, because I've gotten into almost an argument. I remember when I was in school, I got into an argument with a lady who was grown, and she had an adult son about my age, and because I was talking about how we need fathers, and she was trying to argue with me about how I raise my sons to be responsible men on my own, and I respect that. But the reason why this is relevant to what we're talking about is because I really have a problem with the fact that us as a people, we are now becoming comfortable with the state that we're in, and it's not good. Like you have a lot of men that are not doing what they're supposed to do. I understand that. Now, we need to go back and understand why they're not doing what they're supposed to do. My issue is, let's try to, we already have a system that's trying to make all of us look bad, as we already in a situation that we're in. They market us and push out the negatives about our situation that is also going on in every other community.
Of course.
But we are going to get the brunt of it. Why would you want to make it worse on yourself? So that was one thing I wanted to say. Now, as far as the baby daddy, baby mama stuff, I really believe in co-parenting. I'm not a parent yet, but co-parenting is the most important thing.
It's very important for the child.
If the child is a person that you want the child to gain the most out of all of this. It's not about y'all. It's about the parents.
Not even is it important. We shouldn't have any discussion about any alternative but co-parenting.
But
period.
But that's just the way. But we've been taught, baby mama. This is. Look at the terminology that we use.
So convenient now.
Yes, like it's nothing.
Wow.
But I'm not saying that because life happens. You have your own situation. You have your own situation. The different things happen for different reasons. But what we should not be glorifying is vilifying the fathers.
Right.
The fathers need to be in these kids' lives. Wow. It's important for these fathers because I was blessed to have my dad in my life. But when he was not there at any point, man, you see the value of that. I can't even imagine where I would be right now without my dad around. At least, if you don't say anything, just sit there. So I can see who you are and know who you are. Something. So I really want us as a community to for real, take what we're all saying seriously, because we're as you can see online on TV every day.
It's getting too late.
It's already, the way we're just been destroyed. Deconstructing the system is catering and enabling this destruction.
Yeah.
So we need to sit back for a second and look at what's more important. How can we rebuild? I know right now a lot of us are not even in the space to think about rebuilding ourselves, but focus on what's more important. I know y'all.
Okay, for me, my own conclusion is I've been in my daughter's life since she was born. I'm gonna be in her life till the day I will die. No court system, no woman, nobody can take my daughter, can separate me from my daughter. That one is point one. Go. So, but what I want to say to other people out there who, for some reason or the other, they're not in their daughter's life, try to get back into your daughter's life. Try to get back into your son's life, into your child's life.
Say that to that one again, though.
I said what I want to say. What I want to say for people out there, the fathers out there who they're not into their daughter's life or their son's life or their children's life, try your best to get back into their life. The child support you're paying in court is not enough. It's not about money. There's a bond that a father needs to have with his children.
Trust.
That the mom cannot provide.
Only the mom
cannot provide. Right. There's a bond the mom needs to have with the children that only the father cannot provide. Because you can go to court and they'll give you custody of your children and remove their mom from their lives. That is not, you're not doing a favor to that child. You're only creating someone that will grow up tomorrow and be angry. And we feel that something is missing. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you see my daughter, you know that she's a happy daughter. I don't know if my daughter would have been happy like that if they had removed her from me.
That's a really important thing that you just said.
Yeah, I don't know if she would have been happy like that, or growing up, going to school, knowing when people are talking about dad, she doesn't know who her daddy is. You know, because I've seen people, some young women or some young men that grow up, they say, oh, I don't know my dad, or I don't know, it's not good. And if a woman really wants the child to know his or her dad, they will know that woman. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but the problem we're having in the society now is that everything now is all about money, 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 and what is in it for me, not what is in it for the child. The first thing, if you're having a baby, let it be about the baby first before you. Don't put you first before the baby. Because some women, let's assume they get pregnant with a man, hoping that the man is going to marry them, and the man doesn't marry them, then because of that anger, they will turn against the man forever. No matter how much, whatever you do, they will not let you into that child's life because they're trying to use that to get to you. But I want the women out there to understand that life of a single mom is not something to be proud of.
And no.
I'm going
That is real.
It's not something.
And the same thing for a single father.
Yeah, it's not something
That's
to be
real.
proud of. Life of a single dad is not something to be proud of. We as the black race should figure out a way to make it possible for everybody to be involved in growing up their child.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think we should do a part 2 of this episode.
The part 2 we should bring in some single moms.
Single moms, yeah. I think we
should.
should. Yeah.
That's what comes.